The immigration world is exploding right now, and if you are planning to study abroad, migrate, apply for asylum, get permanent residency, work overseas, or even travel internationally in 2026, this video could change everything you thought you knew because governments across the world are suddenly tightening borders, cutting visa approvals, increasing deportations, rejecting asylum applications faster, limiting international students, and introducing aggressive new immigration crackdowns. And the craziest part is millions of people still have no idea these changes are happening until it is too late. Today, we are diving into the biggest global immigration shifts happening right now across the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, Europe, and beyond. We are talking about visa rejections skyrocketing, student visa rules changing overnight, asylum systems being overhauled, mass deportation operations, border surveillance expansion, new digital immigration checks, and the countries that are still secretly welcoming migrants while others are shutting the door. Stay until the end, because I will also reveal which countries may become the next immigration hotspots of the future and why global migration patterns are changing faster than ever before. This is one of the most important immigration videos of 2026, and trust me, some of these updates are shocking. Right now, some of the biggest challenges being faced by the immigration industry globally include immigration crackdowns, student visa restrictions, mass deportations, asylum crisis, border security, PR pathway changes, international student caps, work visa changes, migration reforms, digital border control, visa rejection surge, illegal immigration crisis, refugee policy overhaul, and governments know immigration is now one of the hottest political issues on earth. Let's start with the United States. The United States immigration system has become one of the most intense and controversial topics in the world. The new enforcement measures have dramatically increased fear among undocumented migrants, asylum seekers, and even some international students. Mass deportation discussions are dominating headlines. Visa processing scrutiny has intensified. Asylum reviews are becoming stricter, and immigration raids are making global news. Even legal immigrants are becoming nervous because the environment has become unpredictable. Thousands of migrants are now searching online every day for terms like how to avoid deportation, US visa rejection 2026 immigration raid updates, asylum denied, what next, green card delays, ICE crackdown, student visa problems, USA. And this fear is creating huge shifts in migration decisions worldwide. Some international students who originally planned to study in America are now reconsidering their future entirely. Universities are also beginning to worry because international students contribute billions to the economy every year. Meanwhile, Canada has also shocked the world. For years, Canada was viewed as one of the easiest pathways for migrant students and skilled workers, but now things are changing fast due to international student caps, housing crisis concerns, temporary resident reductions, stricter permit approvals, more scrutiny on asylum claims, and tougher immigration consultant monitoring. Suddenly, people who thought Canada was an easy route to permanent residency are discovering a completely different reality of Canada PR crisis, Canada student visa rejections, Canada immigration, changes in 2026 work permit problems, PGWP updates, express entry uncertainty, and Canada housing crisis due to immigration have exploded exponentially. Some colleges are already feeling the impact because international student numbers are slowing, rental markets in major cities are changing, and many migrants are now asking a difficult question: is Canada still worth it in 2026? Then comes the United Kingdom. The UK has become one of the hottest immigration battlegrounds in Europe. The government is tightening student visa rules, monitoring asylum applications more aggressively, and discussing offshore processing systems and third country return hubs. This has created enormous anxiety among international students and migrants worldwide, especially because the UK used to market itself heavily as a global education destination. However, the ground reality is totally different. Due to ongoing changes to visa crackdowns, asylum rules, student visa restrictions, deportation laws are just the beginning. The British government is under pressure to reduce migration numbers dramatically, and political debates around migration are becoming fiercer every month. Many migrants who once viewed Britain as a secure long term future are now reconsidering their options. Australia is another major story. Australia has historically depended heavily on migration and international students, but now the country is also reducing migration intake and tightening visa pathways. International student caps and migration reductions are becoming major political topics, along with Australia visa changes, Australia student cap, Australia PR pathway reducing migration. Australia countless subclass visa rejections and changes to Australian border policy are unfolding as we speak. This is especially affecting students from South Asia, Africa, and parts of Southeast Asia. Universities are worried, businesses needing skilled workers are worried, and migrants are increasingly confused about which pathway is actually safe anymore. Now let's move to Europe. Europe is entering a completely new era of immigration enforcement. The European Union is implementing stronger migration controls, tougher asylum rules, expanded deportation mechanisms, and new return hub systems involving third countries. This is becoming one of the most controversial human rights debates in the world. Some European governments argue they must regain border control. Others warn that migrant protections are being weakened due to various factors like EU Migration Pact, Europe asylum crisis, Schengen visa problems, migrant deportations from Europe, illegal migrants into Europe, tightening of border security in Europe, and refugee crisis in 2026. At the same time, some countries inside Europe are quietly trying to attract skilled workers because they desperately need labor shortages filled. Germany is one of the most interesting examples. While many countries tighten migration, Germany is still trying to attract skilled professionals, engineers, healthcare workers, and international talent to support its economy. This is creating a strange global contradiction. Some countries are closing doors, others are selectively opening them, and migrants everywhere are trying to figure out which countries still offer real opportunity. Another major trend happening globally right now is the rise of digital border technology. Governments are increasingly using AI systems, biometric checks, facial recognition, digital visa screening, advanced passenger data, and automated immigration risk analysis. This means immigration systems are becoming smarter, faster, and much more connected internationally. Even small mistakes in visa applications are becoming easier for governments to detect. Fake documentation crackdowns are increasing, immigration fraud investigations are increasing, and immigration consultants worldwide are facing stricter regulation. People are now having to face additional hurdle of AI immigration checks, biometric visa systems, digital border control to curb immigration fraud crackdown. Visa refusal are skyrocketing more than ever before. Another huge issue is asylum migration. Governments across the world are increasingly separating skilled migration from humanitarian migration. Countries are becoming far stricter about asylum abuse concerns while still claiming they want skilled migrants and genuine refugees. This is creating enormous political tension globally. The emotional side of this story is massive. Families separated, students panicking, workers uncertain, migrants spending life savings, refugees facing dangerous journeys, and governments under intense political pressure from their own populations. That is why immigration has become one of the most emotionally charged topics on the planet. Now, here is something very important most people are missing. Even though many countries are tightening immigration, the world still desperately needs migrants. Aging populations, falling birth rates, healthcare shortages, engineering shortages, construction shortages, technology sector demand, agricultural labor demand. The global economy still relies heavily on migration. So, what governments are really trying to do is reshape immigration rather than completely stop it. That is the real story. Countries now want high skilled migrants, healthcare workers, AI specialists, cybersecurity experts, engineers, investors, and migrants who can immediately contribute economically. This is why highly searched keywords now include fastest PR pathway, best countries for skilled migration, healthcare jobs abroad, digital nomad visa, AI jobs overseas, golden visa, remote work visa, and skilled migration programs 2026. Now, here comes the most important question. Which countries may become the next big immigration destinations? Several emerging destinations are quietly rising right now. Germany, Portugal, UAE, Singapore, New Zealand, certain Eastern European nations, and parts of Asia and the Gulf region. Some of these countries are trying to attract talent while traditional immigration giants become stricter. This could completely reshape global migration patterns over the next decade. Another massive trend is the rise of remote work migration. Many professionals no longer want permanent migration immediately. Instead, they are searching for digital nomad visa options, remote work countries, tax friendly migration, online income visa, freelancer residency, and work from anywhere destinations. Countries that adapt fastest to this new remote economy may become the winners of the next migration era. Now, let's talk about the psychological impact. Immigration uncertainty is causing massive stress worldwide. People spend years preparing for migration dreams, learning languages, saving money, completing degrees, passing English tests, building work experience, and suddenly policies change overnight. Entire futures can shift in months. That is why expert immigration consultants have become the need of the hour. People are desperate for updates, desperate for clarity, desperate for hope, and desperate to avoid costly mistakes. If you are planning any migration journey in 2026, the biggest mistake you can make is relying on old information, or worse, if you end up with unlicensed consultants, you will find in every corner of the road. Because immigration rules are changing faster than ever before, what worked 2 years ago may not work now. What worked last month may not work next month, and governments are becoming increasingly unpredictable. Now, here is the final reality nobody wants to say openly the era of easy migration is ending, or you can also has already ended. But the good news is that the era of strategic migration is beginning. The people who succeed in the future will be the ones who adapt fastest, those who build and demand skills, choose the right countries, stay updated constantly, avoid misinformation, and understand that immigration is becoming more competitive globally. This is no longer just about moving countries. It is about global survival, opportunity, economics, politics, demographics, and technology all colliding at the same time. And the world is only at the beginning of this transformation. So here is the big question for you. If you had the chance to migrate anywhere in the world right now, which country would you choose and why? Drop your answer in the comments because I want to see which destinations people still trust most in 2026. And if you found this video valuable, make sure you subscribe right now because immigration policies are changing almost weekly and the next update could directly impact your future. The global immigration map is being written in real time, and the people who stay informed will always have the biggest advantage along with those who avail expert advice. And now you know how to get there. So do get in touch if you to stay ahead of the pack. Call us now on our WhatsApp mobile number +64 221 786 007